Everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this Friday in the new year. It's a great time to be thinking about the new year and what we want to accomplish both personally and professionally in our lives. I imagine many of that might be why many of you guys have been prompted to join today's conversation. And very, very excited as you're thinking through what you'd like to accomplish in 2023 to tell you a little bit more about the HBA mentoring program, what it is, how it works, and how to register. And hopefully we'll have a good session together and we can get your questions answered, and we'll go from there. So what I'm looking to accomplish in the time together is to just talk a little bit about why mentoring might be something that makes sense for you. I will give you the information so that you understand how the program works. I'll talk a little bit about the benefits of the program for both mentees and mentors. Make sure you have the nuts and bolts information so that you know how to register and what the key deadlines are. And also want to make sure that as much information and as robust we're trying to cover in the deck itself, want to make sure there's time for questions too. As again, this is something that we want folks to be thoughtful about. There is a time commitment. So let's talk and see if this makes sense for the folks that are joining today's WebEx. Next slide, please. Thank you. I guess I should start out introducing myself. Hello, everybody. My name is Colleen Burns. I have the pleasure and the privilege of being the global chair of the HBA mentoring program. I have been in the healthcare industry in a variety of commercial leadership roles for about 25 years. I'm not exactly sure how that happened. It goes by pretty quickly. Very, very early on in my career, I had a mentor that pointed me in the direction of the HBA. So I joined back in 2000. So I have been a member of the HBA for, I guess I can say, multiple decades now. I've been part of chapters, the New Jersey, the New York chapter. I've been part of the Mid-Atlantic chapter. I've been part of the West Coast. And I have been a part of the mentoring program for the past 8 or 9 years. I started out as part of the Mid-Atlantic regional program, was really involved in the execution of it, and then moved on to the strategic role a couple of years ago. And I am so pleased to be joined on today's call by Tamika Murphy. She is a manager of product knowledge at Athena Health, and she is a past participant of the program. So I can give you lots of great information about what the program is and how it works, but I don't think anything is ever better than actually hearing from somebody who participated in the program and what they thought and what they got out of it. So we're absolutely excited to have time to hear from Tamika today as well. So as you're all here and thinking about mentoring, why mentoring? Is this something that makes sense for me? And I think at some point in many people's professional journeys, this is at the time where they pause and go, is this the type of relationship that I want to enter in? Is it the right time? Does it make sense? It is truly a key learning and developmental relationship. The pure crux of mentoring is there is somebody that I can learn from. It's a safe space that I can trust and connect with somebody that has been on a similar journey. And we can learn from one another and we can help each other grow. And that really is another fundamental part of why mentoring, it is supporting career growth and advancement by trading stories, having dialogue, learning from one another, and helping each other take the steps to get where each other wants to go. One of the things that I'll talk about in the course of today's presentation that never gets old saying is it is truly a mutually beneficial relationship. Both the mentor and mentee are getting learning out of this. Even though the mentor may have several decades experience and have some war stories to trade, they are equally learning from the mentee's experiences, and the world's changing, technology is changing, virtual environments, things happening in the world. It is truly a shared learning. And together, both people are actually learning and growing is things that we hear time and time again from people in the program. Both mentors and mentees are getting something out of it. 3 reasons women need professional mentorship. A strong professional network connects you to unique resources. These are people within your industry that are doing similar things and have similar experiences. A mentor can also help you get unstuck and prevents you from making avoidable mistakes. You can learn from somebody that's potentially been in your shoes or similar shoes in similar space and help you navigate some situations and get unstuck, or possibly even avoid some situations that maybe they weren't able to avoid earlier in their careers. And of course, I think we all recognize nobody can make it on their own. Why does HBA conduct a mentoring program for its members? Well, I have to say the mentoring program is truly the flagship offering of the larger Healthcare Businesswomen's Association. Long before the mentoring program was created, this was something that came out in surveys and dialogues. We were asked repeatedly. It was very, very clear that was a need for both requests for mentoring. HBA brings women together, and there's lots of the events, both virtual and in person, and networking opportunity. But we continue to hear, gosh, I want something a little bit more personal, intimate, ongoing, to develop relationships and learn from one another. This is an organization, I think we're up to 11,000 folks. So you have a robust network of folks that are doing great things in the industry, and gosh, to be able to connect with these folks and learn from them, it really does tie in very, very closely with the larger HBA mission and vision, which I'll speak to in just a moment. We also know that women get less of mentorship and sponsorship that opens up doors. It's great to see things are changing in the world. We still have a long ways to go. Women are 24% less likely than men to get advice from senior leaders. And 62% of women of color say the lack of an influential mentor is holding them back. So all of these reasons really tie into the core mission of HBA, and mentoring being a flagship offering of the organization. The core purpose is to further the advancement and impact of women in the business of healthcare. For those of you who may not be familiar, the HBA has been around, I want to say, since 1977, if I'm getting that correct. There are over 11,000 members strong, and I think well over 100 corporate partners at this point globally. It is a nonprofit organization comprised of individuals and organizations across healthcare, committed to achieving gender parity in leadership positions, providing equitable practices that enable organizations to realize the full potential of women, and facilitating career and business connections to accelerate advancement. And all three of those things are also common reasons why folks join our mentoring program as well. This is always an important thing to think about too, is what mentoring is and what it is not. As you think through what you'd like to accomplish professionally, there's lots of different things and ways to learn and grow. Mentoring truly is a relationship-centered development process and tool. It's an opportunity to share knowledge, experiences, and perspectives between mentor and mentees. It is a safe space to have open discussions, to try new things, and to take risks. Going into a mentoring relationship is being accountable for your own learning and progress. Usually you have a reason why you're thinking about this and what you want to get out of it. You own it. That's something that you chat between mentor and mentee about, hey, this is why I'm here, and this is what I'm looking to learn and grow together over the course of 2023. It is truly a contact sport, active participation by all. And one of the things that makes the HBA mentoring program a little bit different than other mentoring programs, particularly in the US, is it's a circle format. So it's not just one-on-one, it's actually two mentors paired with four mentees. So typically it's a circle of 6. So it's not just learning one-on-one, you're actually learning in the group and building a safe space for dialogue among each other. So not only are you getting the mentoring relationship, you're also getting building the network aspect as well as talking to folks that are in the industry and learning and growing together. And it is truly a contact sport. We take the setup of the circles very, very thoughtfully because, like anything in life, you get out what you put in, and we want to make sure that people are coming together for the right reasons and they're committed to showing up for one another, because it really is the magic of the contact sport and everybody in it together. that time and time again we hear is what makes the magic of this program. Also equally important is what mentoring is not. It is not a guarantee of promotion. Time and time again, people have conversations in this program that help build confidence and skills that can get them down the path of a promotion. But that should not solely be the number one objective to join the program. We're not looking for somebody to say, hey, I'm here to meet with you guys, and I just need to get as many job interviews as possible, and I need to have another job in, X amount of time. While you will certainly develop relationships, and as you build relationships, people will, tend to be inclined to help each other succeed, but it's not a guarantee. You are really joining because this is the relationship-centered development process, and it's about helping each other as you learn and grow in that process yourself. It is not coaching and counseling. It's a very different program than signing up with a coach and saying, I want to work on this week, and I want to work on this next week, and having a program and a pathway together. This is truly a shared learning experience, relationship-based, centered. And it is absolutely, if I can't stress it enough, it is an active experience. It is not passive. It's not just showing up and somebody else is going to tell you what to do or say, hey, this is what I want to talk about, or here is what we want to accomplish. The people that are showing up in the circles are making a commitment together to all be there and to get out what they put in. The HBA mentoring program difference. HBA gives you an access to a global network of leaders and talent across the full spectrum of healthcare companies. There are lots of awesome women's organizations that do a number of different things. One of the things that's really cool about joining the HBA mentoring is in the circles, you are meeting people that are within the space in which you work. It is a safe space. Again, this is very, very important to allow for deep, insightful discussion. One of the things I had said, we put a lot of thought into developing the circles and matching the right mentors and mentees. We try very, very hard that you will not be in a circle with anybody that is from your company. That gives you the maximum opportunity that you're meeting people and building relationships outside of your own company, which is something that's great and enriching in your career to know other accomplished women in the space. But we also find time and time again that it allows that safe space that sometimes people are dealing with some things that are sticky and they might not feel necessarily comfortable speaking very, very direct with somebody that's within their own company. So we try really, really hard to honor creating the circles and keeping it a safe space for one another. Again, through the amount of people in the circle and coming from healthcare, but coming from different organizations, and sometimes different functional roles as well. It provides exposure to diverse approaches and thinking outside of your own company. And one of the things that lights me up being part of this program for many, many times is people go through it and really want to be able to pay it forward. I can't tell you how many people go through this journey and then they're like, gosh, this is exciting. I don't want it to end. What else can I do to help other women have the same experience? And I have a team. I have a co-chair and a team of folks that run this program. It is a year-long program. It is a lot of work to pull together. And a lot of the people that make the backbone of putting together are people that have gone through the program. And again, just are like, gosh, this is something that I want to help other people have the experience that I did. So there are, it is the mentoring circles, as I have talked about in the United States. Given the geographies, the way the geography works and the number of folks in Europe and Canada, and for the first year ever, Asia Pacific region, we do have the one-on-one format for those folks on those continents. We do get the question too, hey, I might be in New York, but I'm planning to move to the West Coast and I want to meet people on the West Coast. Can I join a mentoring circle that's not where I am based? Yes, you can, but we would ask that you think very, very thoughtfully about it and think through things like logistics, in time zones, because again, there is an expectation that all the groups are showing up for one another, and you don't want to commit to something that logistically is just not going to work out from a time standpoint. But yes, we are open to that if it makes sense for that person and they have that commitment. This is an important part, and I think I've alluded to this before. How are the groups and tandems matched? So part of the committee that I have of volunteers, we essentially spend the month of February going through all the applications. It is a detailed application. We ask folks to take some time it will ask questions about, how many years have you been in your role? What functional area? What are your objectives? We look at that information closely and really try to match you with folks that are looking to get out similar things as you are. And we also look at very practical things as well. If it's a group that has a strong desire to try and get together in person, we are going to try and match people that are all in the same geography. The type of things that will be in the matching questions: what are your areas of interest or growth? What are your goals? What are the professional capabilities that you're looking to strengthen? What is your current job situation, your career path, your functional area, your location, your preferred meeting time? So again, we would ask folks to not just kind of check the box and, okay, hey, I've applied to this program, let's see what happens. Take the time with the questionnaire and provide your authentic self in terms of, hey, this is who I am and this is what I'm looking to get out of it, which will give you the best chance of success of being matched in the circle that's going to be right for you. So a little bit more about the mentoring circles. They are self-governing. They do set their own rules of engagement and expectations. So you've applied to the program in January. We go through the matching process in February. Around March, April timeframe, you're notified that you've been assigned to a group. Usually there'll be a kickoff meeting for the region, and then you'll start to meet with your group on whatever cadence that you guys decide. There are 6 people. When you meet each other for the first time, you'll have the conversation of, okay, do we want to meet once a month? Do we want to meet once a week? Do we want to try and do this bi-monthly? What's the right time that's going to work? Are mornings better or evenings better? Do we want to try and do this during lunchtime? So self-governing is a really key part. And there is also not a set pathway. The group also establishes their own meeting format and degree of structure desired. Over the course of my years doing this, I've seen lots of teams decide to do this very differently. Some come in, they assign each team member, okay, you're in charge of the agenda. You come to the June meeting and let's decide what we're going to, here's the theme that we've agreed to or the topic, and let's go. Some folks might say, hey, we want to watch a video or we want to watch a book or read a book and then come and talk about it. That is really up to the group of the 6 of you. Your very first meeting, you'll meet each other, say hi, hello, where are you from? Great to know. When do you want to meet and what types of topics do we want to cover in our journey together over 2023? And then each group will go off on their own path. And one of the things that you'll hear over and over and over again, part of this program, is it truly is mentee driven. You will have the mentors, and the mentors will be provided a ton of resources from the HBA. But
Hi, Ricardo, how are you?
It is not up to the mentors to say, okay, we're going to cover personal branding, in the June agenda, and then we're going to talk about public speaking in the July agenda. It is based on the conversations that you have up front with the group, what everybody's looking to get out of it. And again, we ask everybody that what you show up for the group, and it is that dialogue, that connection, that building trust, that sharing stories, that safe space, that risk-taking, those laughter and tears that often come in this group together. That's all part of the experience. It does start with a goal. The mentees very early on will be asked to set a goal to achieve in the program. You've made the commitment, you filled out the application, you've been matched to a group, you're part of this program. What is the specific measurable goal that you have for yourself from the time and energy that you've invested to this group that you are looking to accomplish? And that is something very early on that you share with the rest of the folks. And everybody together knows that's the goal. And we're working together as a group to help ensure that everybody accomplishes their goals throughout the journeys together. In terms of just setting some expectation, the mentors are there to provide feedback and support. They are not there with, here is the solution. Okay, here's your problem, and you go do ABC, and you can be guaranteed you're going to get this result. That is not the intent for this program. Mentors will ask questions. They encourage a lot of self-reflection. They provide new and different perspectives, but they will share stories from their careers. And as I mentioned before, everyone in the group is a learner. Everybody is offering feedback and support to one another. And sometimes you're going to get, you might get the nugget that you needed to hear from another mentee in the group versus from the mentor. By virtue of being in a group of 6, you have a lot of diverse perspectives to help guide you as you reflect and figure out the path to help you hit your measurable goal. We do want to make sure that we set up the mentoring relationships for success. I mean, this is a commitment in everybody's time that you're doing beyond your day job, beyond all the things that you've got going on in your personal and family life as well. Usually around the March timeframe, we'll do an onboarding with mentors, mentor training, so that they understand very clearly how the program runs, what the expectations are, what resources are available that the HBA can help support them during the journey. Also in the March timeframe, we also do a mentee orientation. Again, kind of setting up the expectations. This is a mentee-driven program. This is, you are expected to come with a goal and to participate. It is an active sport and there isn't a clear agenda. This is something that you're going to map out as you go. Usually that happens around the March timeframe, and then the program typically kicks off maybe late March, early April. Many of the regions bring everybody together for the kickoff, and then everybody goes on their way with their individual circles from there. Another important part of the program too is each circle is assigned what we call a connector. Again, it's really, really important to make sure that these circles are matched well and that everybody's showing up for one another. We want to ensure that early on, if something's just not right, if you have, a mentor that, perhaps something happened in their family and they're not showing up, or there is someone that is just not the right fit for whatever reason, it's a safe space to kind of say, hey, I invested in this program. There are some things happening, my group's not, meeting, it's been 3 times and they haven't, it's not coming together. Hopefully that's not the case, but we do have a resource that you will know who your connector is, that at any point you can reach out and speak very candidly about your experience. This is going great, this is not going great, and we will work together to help figure out the right solution. There are different assessments and surveys that will go throughout the program as well, in a way that is an open dialogue for feedback, so that we are getting feedback in a timely way and correct, but also, in a timely sense as well. I mean, I think there's 2 touch points throughout the year, but your connector is someone you can call at any time. So common themes that we've heard over and over again about why people join the program. And these are also topics that people tend to devote their circles to. They say, hey, this is something that I want to, talk more about. Let's dedicate a monthly circle meeting to this. Common concepts: self-advocacy, long-term career mapping, building leadership skills, increasing confidence, how to develop an executive mindset, how to navigate difficult conversations. How do I manage a team? How do I manage up? How do I negotiate? How do I network? These are all common things that we hear over and over again that people are looking to get better and better at. And it is very possible that you could be on a circle, and some of these themes are things that are touched upon as you meet together. So I've alluded to this, but sometimes you can't just be a visual that maps it out so that it's very, very clear. In the February-March timeframe, the February and March timeframe is when the matching is happening. and you're being communicated to the circle that you're going to be matched to. There will be a webinar with mentor training. There will be a webinar with mentee orientation and setting expectations. Around that same time, you're also getting the notifications so you know what your group assignment is. You would come together in March and April for the official program kickoff. And then after that kickoff meeting, you are on your own with your group to set up the cadence and the forum and the agenda. And you keep meeting, up until the fall winter timeframe. We do try to put together a mid-year event in June to bring everybody together with an inspirational or motivational speaker. We'll usually reach out to the connectors and say, gosh, what topics have been, top of mind in 2023? What are the circles talking about? And we'll try and find somebody that we feel is going to be added value to bring everybody together should they want to come to the mid-year event. But again, the magic is in the circle time and the time with the groups. That usually happens, continues through October, November, and the program comes to a close, usually right before the holidays in that time frame in 2023. I want to touch on, and I want to make sure that you get some good time with Tamika and for questions as well. But let me touch on just some of the mentee and mentor benefits as I close up my portion of this presentation. Mentee benefits are gaining wisdom from someone who has already walked this road. It's an opportunity to tap into somebody that can really come from an objective perspective, listening to what's going on and ask you questions to help you navigate a situation and help you achieve the goal that you're looking to accomplish. It gives you personal and professional growth opportunities outside of what you're getting with your employer. You're getting to learn from HBA members with broad healthcare industry experience, trying new things in that safe, maybe less risky environment than in your own company. You're building relationships, you're expanding your network, and it's helping you transition to who you want to become professionally. The mentor benefits, enhancing feedback skills, encouraging others to reflect. It's an opportunity increasing self-awareness, improving awareness of personal biases and assumptions, deepening your leadership skills, also expanding the professional network, and the fulfillment of knowing that you're helping other folks and the satisfaction of giving back. So if this is something that you're like, gosh, this might be right for me in 2023, it is only offered at the beginning of the year because it's a year-long journey. So the time is now. It is the right time. You have until the end of this month to go to the HBA website. You can see the address and register. There is a fee for mentees. There is no fee for mentors. It is an HBA members program only. So in order to join the mentoring circles, you must be a member of the HBA. And I think that's pretty straightforward. If we could go to the next slide, please. So in terms of final thoughts, no matter where you are in your career, as far as you've gone, there's still opportunities to learn and grow. Different situations arrive. I believe very, very strongly we all need multiple mentors, those safe spaces to build relationships with and learn and grow and help each other navigate different situations. Again, one of the things that I think is a truly nice opportunity with the HBA is that you're getting to build relationships and networks with folks that are outside your own company. Sometimes we have folks that are part of mentoring within their own company, and they're getting something out of that, but they're also, may choose to be part of this as well to get the diversity of experience, exposure, and perspectives outside of one's own employer. And with that, it is truly a pleasure to pass it on to Tamika to talk about her experience in the HBA mentoring program.
Thank you so much, Colleen. Always great information. And definitely, you guys, everything Colleen has said is true. I'm here to testify that this program is very beneficial in so many different ways. So I first did my first mentorship with HBA in 2021, and then I loved it so much, I signed up again for 2022. And the fun part about it is that each year I had a different set of goals in mind. You know, the first year I was really trying hard to establish myself in my role and hopefully get a promotion within that role. And over time, I did get that promotion. And then the second year which was this past year in 2022, I really wanted to hone in on new skills. So I was really focused around upskilling and learning new things that would help benefit my current role and my team that I'm working with in my role now. So it was really great to see both sides or work both of those two scenarios within this program. As Colleen said, you know, the tools are there. We're provided with tons of documentation, tons of resources, books, lists, websites, everything you can think of to help you pursue your goals. And it really is about you deciding what goals you want to focus on and then using the mentorship as a way to help build those goals and meet those goals. You know, you have to provide and decide what it is, what focus you want to make. And then the mentor circles are there to help you reach those goals. And sometimes it's not about finishing your goals, right? It's getting that first start. So while I finished my goals the first time, the second time, just because of timelines and just where I was and a couple of roadblocks, I didn't get to finish all of or meet all of my goals within the program window, but that didn't mean that I stopped, right? So even after we finished our circle and the 2022 program was over, I still had that really strong foundation to keep processing and fulfilling the goals that I'd set for myself and even into the beginning of this year. As far as the circles go, I've found them to be invaluable because not only do we have wonderful mentors that are there to help and guide us, but just learning from each other was just as important as hearing from our mentors. And we were able to share our own experiences throughout the group with each other. And while some person may have a situation that they're dealing with, I cannot count how many times that someone else was able to chime in from the circle to say, oh yeah, I had that same thing happen and this is what worked for me, or this is what didn't work for me. So you're constantly learning from the other your other members in your circle. There's a great collaboration there within that circle. And like I said, it's just invaluable what you do learn from your mentors and the participation within the circle itself. I'd also like to say that no matter where you are in your career path, it's never too late to have a mentor or be a part of a mentorship. So I would consider myself on the verge of starting the late process of my career. I've been in the healthcare industry for quite some time, but it's never too late to grab a mentor, to learn, to improve on your skills. And that's always been a goal of mine every year. Where do I want to improve? What new thing do I want to do or learn? So that's how I came to HBA to begin with. I was seeking out ways to improve professionally and personally. So that's been really great for us. And as a result, I even this past year, because of my participation with the HBA in 2021, I signed up for the mentorship program within my company as a mentor. And that has been really exciting to be able to give back in that sense, because while I may not know everything, I'm able to help guide someone within their career at my company because I understand and I know my company like the back of my hand. So that was a very fulfilling step to take last year. And I expect to do it again this year when it comes up through our company HBA mentorship program. And then as a result too, you know, giving back is that, you know, I actually signed up to be a volunteer for HBA. So I'm in the Southwest region in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I'm hoping to be able to give back directly here with the global HBA as well. So if you're considering doing the mentorship, I truly, truly encourage you to go through with it. Give it a shot. it's only a win as far as I'm concerned and the way I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen people, changing roles in a group and working through that, deciding if they want to take a new role and working through the process of what that looks like, looking at that new role from every angle and then deciding whether or not it's a good fit for them. And, in one case it wasn't, but it was okay that it wasn't, because that individual took the time and worked with our group and with our mentor, and we really helped her break down where she should go to look into and research and discuss and discover that role to see if she really was that interested in taking that. And that's something actually I'm taking with me this year as I look into a role in our company that I'm thinking about applying for. I'm going to take those same skills and those same techniques that we worked with in our mentorship circle last year, and I'm going to apply them to myself this year. So you'll always have something, those nuggets that stick with you, that you're able to take with you into your roles as you go back into the field, and hopefully continue on to improve and meet your goals and further advance in your careers and in the ways that you wish to.
Tamika, thank you. You have to take a breath. You had so much energy and passion. I could feel it through the computer screen. But it is that energy and passion that inspires me to keep doing this year after year. I'm often asked, well, gosh, don't you want to do something different? You've been part of this program for some time. Everybody keeps learning and growing. The world's changing. People need connection. I really believe more than ever. And I just love hearing from folks like Tamika and what people get out of this program. So with that, I think we are ready for some Q&A. I don't know. I haven't been reading the comments. Michelle, is there any burning questions that have already come in?
Yes, we've had quite a few. I tried to answer them as quickly as I could in the chat, but we did have some just come in. So I think we can answer those verbally. If you have additional questions, please feel free to put those in the chat, or you can also unmute. But let's get started on these questions. So the first one is from Leanne. Are there more forms to fill out? I just registered online and saw a slide that is a questionnaire. The slide in the slide deck here in this presentation was actually showing some of the additional resources. So the only one you should have if you've already registered is your matching survey, which Colleen did a beautiful job of explaining that it is quite lengthy, but it really is part of that really thoughtful process of matching. So be sure to take your time, answer your questions as thoughtfully as you possibly can. And that really helps us to find your best match. But we do have other resources along the way of the mentoring journey, which do include other questionnaires and surveys and assessments, just to help you figure out what your strengths are, what your areas of improvement are, and just help you kind of have that introspective look to help you on your journey. So I hope that answers that question. From Julia, she said, can you give an example of the mid-year events and what they have been in years past?
Well, gosh, Michelle, you've been such an orchestrator of helping pull together our events. You're going to have to help jog my memory. What was our topic last June or July?
Last year, we covered the topic of having difficult conversations and courageous conversations.
That's right.
Yeah, and we had a panel of very seasoned HBA members who did a wonderful job of really diving deep into the skills you need, and also how to practice flexing those muscles. So that was a really good one. The year prior to that, we did how to create your leadership plan and flex your leadership muscles. So that was another one. We had some HBA board members actually help us with that one. And they helped us to put together a resource to take after that event to figure out how to flex your leadership muscles and really understand that that's an ongoing process. It's not something you're born with, it's something you learn over time. So that was a good one. And to Colleen's point earlier, we do check in with our connectors and find out what are the most pressing topics? What are the topics that are really relevant to this cohort? And that's what we structure those mid-year events around. So I hope that was helpful. Did you have anything to add, Colleen?
No, I'm laughing as you. I'm like, I think I moderated that panel and I couldn't
You
even
did.
remember off the top of my head. That was a lot of fun. And Michelle and team do a really nice job of finding speakers that are really top of their game. I think we had 2 authors of people that had written on the topic. Somebody from, I believe, somebody in Europe, and then somebody from the US perspective. Then we had Charlotte Sibley, which is one of our longtime HBA Women of the Year, and kind of sharing her story. It was a lot of fun. It was truly a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. The next question is, are there differences in the program between the EU and the US and for other regions?
So in the US, it is a circle format. It is 2 mentors and 4 mentees. In the other regions, in Canada, in Europe, and in Asia Pacific, so excited to finally have an Asia Pacific region. It is one-on-one, just given the size of those regions. They're smaller than the amount of HBA members, and given their geography and time zone challenges, it just one-on-one makes the most sense for those regions.
Yeah. Susan, do you have anything to add? I see Susan Brockman on.
Hello, yes. Yes, I do. And I already also reached out to the person who asked that, but indeed in Europe, so I'm representing Europe. We had 222 participants last year, so we are very proud of that. And how we differ is that we indeed have a one-on-one pairing, and we have 3 webinars throughout the year. So we don't have a mid-year event, but we have 3 webinars throughout the full 9 months of the program. And the rest is pretty much the same. So we also start March, April, and then we end in November. And then we start always with 3 enablement sessions like you do as well. And then we have the 3 webinars where we also have interesting speakers. We had, for instance, speaking about psychological safety and how you can ensure that in a mentoring, but also in your workplace. We have many things around personal development and personal branding, for instance. So those are the topics that we cover in the EU program as well.
Awesome. Thank you for jumping in there, Susan. And the next question is, what qualifications do the mentors need to meet?
So we're usually looking for somebody that has between 20 and 30 years of industry experience. But we have, there are times that we have been, had mentors that don't necessarily kind of meet that length of experience. In filling out the application and understanding the background, the journey, the learnings, the contributions to share, we will consider people that are not necessarily, 3 decades of experience. But again, it really, I don't mean to be vague, but so much of it comes down to who applies in the program each year and what they're looking to get out of it. And based on those questionnaires that are submitted and matching, we really want to make sure that we have mentors that are going to have the right qualifications, expertise, desire, and contributions to be able to meet what the mentees who have joined that year are looking to do.
Great. The next question is it possible to have a second pass on filling out the mentee survey, perhaps more thoughtfully? Yes, absolutely. So you can still access your matching survey through Cooper. You just click on the same link that was in your confirmation email, and you can update it and change it, tweak it, especially if anything has changed from the time you registered until the program kickoff. So please feel free to do that at any time. The next one is, can you put the slides in the chat or send them? Yes, we will send them with the recording to everybody. Okay, the next one is, would you please verify that California is in the Pacific region? Yes. All right, and then from Tracy, is there a selection process for mentees? Will everyone be taken or accepted into the program?
So it's based on the quality of the input that you give in that questionnaire. In general, yes, we take a lot of people. There are circumstances, rare, but in times if we believe somebody is not joining with the right intent, there have been times when we've said, hey, we don't think this program is going to be the right fit for you. But we try really, really, really hard to ensure that the people that are here for the right reasons have an opportunity to participate in the program.
Yeah, exactly. We do our best to place everybody. The next question is, where is the mid-year event typically and how many days? Social events?
So it is a 1 hour virtual event.
Yes.
Because
So,
it's offered to everybody across the country.
and
And
internationally.
in Europe as
Yeah,
well. So I think we usually try and do it at lunchtime, and it's usually sometime late June, July. We try to work it around the holidays and common vacation times.
exactly. But sometimes the regions do get together in person. So just keep an eye out for that. Also, your circle can meet in person if that's something they want to do. So there are other opportunities to meet others in the program for sure. Do mentors and mentees pay the same membership fees?
Yes.
Yes. The fee for the program is different though. So mentors don't pay any fee, they volunteer their time. Mentees do pay a fee to participate in the program, and all of that information is on our website. Let's see, are volunteer opportunities for members only? Yes. You do have to be an HBA member to volunteer, but I think as many people on this webinar have already said, it's very fulfilling, very rewarding, and something you can put on your resume. Just scanning through these questions from Simone. How do you define healthcare? Are there certain industries that are more popular or preferred than others?
So in my experience, it's typically folks that are working in pharmaceutical or medical device or diagnostics or biotech. Although I think that the healthcare industry has been expanding, payer access roles, different companies. Pharma is still kind of the heart of the corporate sponsorships, but we do have folks that are in all different areas of the healthcare spectrum in terms of the employers that they work for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and if I can jump in there, what we see in the EU a lot as well is that that there's a lot of mentees that are in academia now, and they want to make the switch to healthcare. So that is also a very common theme that we see.
Thanks, Susan. Okay, from Deb, when will we be notified of our approval to mentor and the mentees in our group? I think you said late February.
It's usually in February, like late February, March timeframe. The applications are due at the end of January, and it does take us a couple of weeks to thoughtfully go through them and do the matching. And making sure that the right groups are assigned. Usually by the end of February, early March, that communication goes out, and you know that you've been accepted to the program and assigned to a circle.
Yes, and just bear with us because it is quite an intensive process. Our volunteers do an amazing job at matching, so your patience is appreciated. The next question, is there an opportunity open for Mexico? I have a team in Mexico, but we do not find a chapter there. Are there plans to add a chapter in the near future? I believe we are going to be adding a Latin America region. We're just not quite there yet. If you are interested in participating in the program, I would say the Southwest region is probably the one that would best align with your time zone. And encourage you to apply because it would be a great opportunity to have your perspective in the program. How much time commitment is needed? Can you give an estimate?
That is an excellent question that I think everybody should always ask and think about. Once or twice a month for maybe an hour, hour and a half. So, I mean, maybe or if you attend the mid-year event in that summer timeframe. Maybe sometimes there's a little bit of prep work before you go into it. So if you want to be, I mean, I would think about it between 2, not more than 3. I don't really think that's accurate to say that it's 3 hours. I think thinking about it as 2 hours a month is pretty spot on.
Yeah, thank you. And there is work. I don't know if work's the right answer, but there is learning that happens in the in-between times too. So just keep that in mind, that you're going to be working towards your goals during your professional hours as well. So it's kind of like it's a commitment in terms of meeting with your group or meeting with your mentor, but there's also in-between learning that happens as well. The next question is, do you have any region in Africa? Not yet, unfortunately, but just like Latin America, that's another region we are looking to expand to. So stay tuned for that. Do you have to be a member to apply to the mentee program, or are they separate applications? You do have to be a member to apply to the mentorship program. You can do it either way. Most regions have created an option for you to just pay once and include your membership fee with your mentoring program fee. So you can check on your specific region and go that route if that's available. Or if not, you can also, purchase your HBA membership and then apply to the program. So whatever works for you, there are many options, Simone, and if you have additional questions, you can always reach out to me as well, and I can help. Is there an email to send questions? Yes. It's mentoring@hbanet.org. And I'm sorry if I missed your question, Carolina. There's just a lot coming in. It's hard to keep up with the chat. Is there a way to see if I have already applied? I remember filling the form, but unsure if I submitted it. Yes. Amrita, just reach out to mentoring@hbanet.org and I can double check for you to make sure that your matching survey was submitted and that we have it on our side. Yes, I can type the email one more. Yes, I'll type the email in the chat. There you go. And where can I find the matching questionnaire? So once you decide to participate in the program, you register through our website, pay the fee if you are a mentee, and you'll be emailed your matching survey in your confirmation email. Thank you, everybody. I see lots of thanks in the chat. We really appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully this presentation dove into the details you were looking for. Of course, if we missed anything or you have additional questions, you can always reach out to that email. Thank you. Any closing remarks, Colleen? It is National Mentoring Month, so I did want to wish everybody a happy National Mentoring Month.
My internet connection is unstable. I'm very, very grateful that we got through this on Friday the 13th, Mercury retrograde. I got through the bulk of the content without a technology challenge. Thank you all for sticking around. I think the dialogue was great. It shows the engagement of the audience, that this is something that folks are really thoughtfully considering. We are excited to see many of you sign up for the program, and as you start the journey and going into the new year of meeting some cool folks in a circle or on a one-on-one basis in the other regions and learning and growing together. Thank you for your time today, and best of luck personally and professionally in all the goals that you've set to accomplish for yourself in 2023. Thank you all. Thank you, Tamika, and thank you, Michelle.